Hello, my name is Eric, and today I want to share with you how the Blessed Virgin Mary is teaching us and guiding us to receive salvation. And as we know her, Mary absolute surrender to God. Only he who surrenders himself can receive. There is no receiving without giving. It is not enough to be empty and to be willing, but with joy one should surrender completely to God. God gives himself totally to us, and our reply should be total surrender. This is why Mary is spoken of as Mary absolute surrender. The slave and the poor of God happily surrenders himself with intimate decision and joy. Faith is to surrender. One surrenders to him in whom we trust. I know the one in whom I have believed, and the one whom I have committed myself to. Faithful and
Remember
just
that your
is
greatest
God.
dignity is that you are a son, daughter of God, and He who created you out of love and to whom your life belongs only wants you to trust Him and give Him everything. Give Him your own heart. Remember how to sow a seed? He who is going to plant before starting makes a hole, removes stones, clay, sand, makes a space. He then places the seed in good soil, what we did a few days ago, to vacate the heart, to make emptiness, to have the capacity to house, that is to be poor of God. Then the invitation to Mary that Mary makes us is to give our will to God and let Him teach us to be truly free, being like her slaves of God. And now she invites us to give ourselves confidently and joyfully to God, like her, who knowing the great dignity she had as a person, being created in the image and likeness of God, the only thing she could do to respond to so much love was to give herself totally to the will of God for love. When there is faith in love, one does not obey because he must, like the slave who has no alternative between the will of his master and his own. Mary obeys out of love. Yes, thy will be done. Mary's yes in the Annunciation was ratified in every moment, even to Calvary, where the sorrowful mother with her heart torn apart repeats the yes. Abandonment, trust surrender, without limits and joyful service, is the story of Mary's absolute surrender to God. God embraced and incarnate in the person who opens himself, participates, gives, and surrenders. She gives herself absolutely and unconditionally to God, thus fulfilling the greatest commandment, serving and loving God above all and with everything. The Virgin, being aware of the highest reason of her dignity, which is communion with God, is fully realized as a person giving herself without reservation or measures to God, out of love and for love. Love is giving without calculations, which means a total debt to oneself, to the self, to individual selfishness, because in love there is no I, in love there is we. She does not give what is left over or in the way, but gives herself. We can ask ourselves in our surrender is if absolute, if we, like St. Paul, are prepared for the challenge. Nothing nor anyone can separate me from the love of Christ. Let us donate ourselves to God. Let us surrender ourselves to God with all we have and are. Let us renounce to everything of the world, the devil, and the flesh. All yours, totally and exclusively yours, Lord Jesus. Let us be meek and humble of heart. Let us listen only to God. Let us silence our senses, mind, body, and spirit, like Mary, the Immaculate Conception, and ever Virgin, so that God may speak and we may listen to Him. Let us trust in His love and joyfully abandon ourselves in His hands. Remember that your greatest dignity is that you are a son, daughter of God.
Only the one who surrenders can receive. So to receive God's love, let us trustingly surrender ourselves to Him. Let us completely abandon ourselves, yield our will to His will. Let us be humble, let ourselves become small, recognize that God is our Creator, and let go of everything we have that separates us from Him. Let us deny ourselves, take up the cross of each day and follow Him. In other words, let us convert. For always remember, the invitation, although it is for every human being, In particular, it is for you, personally. Recognize your dignity as a person. Respond to the love of God given in Jesus on the cross and in His resurrection, and accept it in your own life. First, to be willing. Second, to shelter. Third, to embrace. Let us hear God by making silence in our senses, in our mind, in our body, in our spirit, like the most blessed Virgin Mary, Immaculate Conception, so that God may speak to us.